Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Please consider subscribing and check out our Patreon for more. Let's have some fun. I went to Provincetown to stay with my aunt for the summer. She hadn't seen me in a few years, and she was shocked by how much I'd changed. I was about the same height as she. She said that having me there would be very helpful because I could show her how to wear a dress she was making for herself. It would be so much easier for her to do her work. Her kindness and hospitality made it hard for me to say no, and since I was no strangers, it didn't seem dangerous. She had me try on the dress several times when it was in different stages of being finished. When she was done, she finally asked me to try it on again. I surprised her by saying that I would if I could wear the right underwear and high heels. She was happy when I asked, and she let me wear what I wanted. She then told me to wear any of her clothes I wanted for the rest of the summer. I spent my vacation as a girl because she taught me how to be one. When her friends met me, they called me her niece. I liked it. I made a lot of new friends and was asked to come back next summer. That should be enough to write a paper on how I spent my summer. Teacher asked for a short story. Let's see what that does for her. I wanted to surprise her, so I turned in the paper and waited for the bomb to go off. Nothing happened for a few days, but on Friday after school, Mom asked me to sit down for a talk. Sit down and talk sounded like a bad idea. Daryl, your English teacher called me and read me the paper you wrote, she said. I had to say sorry and explain myself a lot. How did you ever think of that? And what did you want to do when you turned that in? Oh, it was just a joke to get her angry. Mom, no harm was meant, so it worked, right? I tried to make her laugh, but she wasn't smiling. Every year we have to write the same stupid paper. I wanted to do something different to get her attention. Okay, honey, I get that your idea is meant to shock, but your subject matter even shocks me. Why do they do that? Where did that even come from? What do you know about women who wear men's clothes? Is there a point to this? Do I need to know something? Do you want to be a girl, or do you just like to dress like a girl? The questions came at me so fast that I couldn't answer them all even if I could. Oh, Mom, don't get carried away. I had nothing to do with it. The first thought that came to mind was that I don't know why I chose that topic. I don't think so, Daryl. You chose cross-dressing out of all the things you could have written about. I'm not sure if it's just a coincidence or not. You could have said you stole something from a candy store or something to surprise them. She started to mutter to herself. Maybe there's a secret message here. I thought I heard something about apples and trees. After a short pause, she said, I'm going to test you. For a weekend, I'm going to have you dress up as my niece. We'll see what you do. It could happen like in your story. At least it won't be for the whole summer. What are you talking about? I won't do it. Oh, but you will, my dear. Or your story will be printed in the school newspaper with your name on it. I agreed to something with your teacher. I'm dead. What if someone sees me in a dress? Most likely no one will see you, and by the time I'm done, no one will recognize you anyway. Come on, Daryl, let's go upstairs. I want you to start by taking a nice, warm bubble bath while I get things ready. Oh my gosh, what have I done? I started something and I couldn't stop. Well, her first order wasn't hard to carry out, but what else did she have in mind? I soaked in the hot water for a while until she told me to get out. After I dried off, Mom came in and dusted me all over with baby powder and rubbed it in like I was her little baby again, making my skin soft and smelling nice. Then led me into her room and showed me the clothes I was supposed to wear. I slowly put on clothes, starting with a pair of pants because I knew she wouldn't take no for an answer. They were thin and silky and felt nice. Then she held out a bra for me to put my arms in, and she helped me hook it in the back. The bra hung empty on my flat chest, though. Next, she put a full slip over my head and let it fall down my powdered skin. Then, with her help and direction, I wiggled and danced into a pair of pantyhose. Was I really a crossdresser after all? Mom helped me put on one of her simple cotton dresses with short sleeves and a round neck. When she zipped up the back, I knew there was no way out. I stepped into a pair of medium-heeled shoes. When I looked at myself for the first time in the mirror, I saw a young girl with a slim body and delicate features. I probably should have been embarrassed to be wearing these clothes, but I wasn't. Even though I had just washed it, my hair, which I usually wear long, was all messed up. This was normal for me, Daryl, and most of the guys. That was about to change, though, because Mom put me down at her makeup table and kept changing me. She combed and brushed my hair thoroughly to get rid of all the tangles. Then she used curlers and conditioners to style it in a very feminine way. At the same time, she put a little makeup on me, just a little eyeshadow to make my eyes stand out, a bit of blush for color, and bright red lipstick, carefully outlining my lips with a brush and filling them in with the tube, and finishing with a coat of clear gloss. As I watched her work, I could see in the mirror that she was right. No one would recognize me, and I wouldn't recognize myself. I had to admit that I was very pretty as a girl. I stood in front of a full-length mirror, twirled to see myself from all sides. Mom had cut my hair evenly to a shoulder length in the back and gave me bangs on my forehead. It looked very pretty and girly, but I was worried about how it would look when I went back to school on Monday. "Now, young lady, you'll spend the whole weekend like this since it's Friday night. You'll tell me more about your paper and why you chose that topic for it on Sunday night. So how do you feel so far? Do you think it will be fun to be a girl? You look like one because you are slim and have nice features." No matter what I said, I knew I was in trouble. Gee, Mom, I don't know what to say. I guess I don't hate it as much as I thought. I don't know, it feels different, kind of good, I don't know. This is something I should hate, but I don't. But how can I face my father? Will he be mad to see me this way? You will let me take care of your father, so don't worry. If you're up for it, maybe we can go somewhere tomorrow night. Like this, in the open? No way. Don't be in such a rush, honey. Maybe you'll change your mind. Don't forget that you're my niece from Provincetown. No one will think otherwise. I'm going to call you Darla, by the way. Darla, I like that name. From where did that come? That would have been your name if you had been a girl. So now you have the daughter you really wanted. Is that it? Is that why you are treating me like this? No, sweetie. Don't forget that you started all of this, but maybe it's not such a bad idea. I hope she wasn't serious. If she's not, it would be a mean trick. When Dad got home, Mom met him and they talked for a long time in the kitchen before he saw me. I couldn't hear what they were saying, but it didn't sound like they were fighting, which is a good sign. When he met me for the first time, he was very nice and surprised at how happy he was to see me dressed as a pretty girl. I was sure he would be mad, but he called me Darla, like that was my name all along. He said he couldn't believe what a pretty young woman I'd become. He treated me like his daughter from the first time we met. Now I knew they had always wanted a girl, and I was giving them what they had always wanted. And because of me, almost right away, I stopped fighting the idea and became very comfortable with my new self. The warm welcome from my parents made it even better. After dinner, I stopped to touch up my lipstick because, hey, why not? I helped my mom with the dishes even though she didn't ask me to because it felt right. We talked like two girls the whole time. She started right away to teach me how to be her daughter. A girl. Things that every girl should know. I could tell this wasn't just a test of how badly I wanted to cross-dress. She was looking for more from me. I found myself very interested in the information. I watched TV in the evening with my legs tucked under my flared skirt while sitting on the couch. It made me look very ladylike. Mom and Dad would look at me and a smile when they saw they liked their new daughter. I could just sense it. I liked making them so happy, but I hoped they knew it wouldn't last. When Dad got home, I wondered what Mom had said to him in the kitchen to make him so happy. Mom helped me take off my clothes before bed, which I needed to do. Then she gave me one of her long, lacy nylon nightgowns to sleep in. Another very comfortable piece of clothing. Is it just me, or do all girls' clothes seem to be so comfortable? She showed me how to take off makeup and kissed her daughter goodnight for the first time in years. I still wasn't sure if I should play this game or act like a boy should, which was to rebel. I was going down quickly. I had to admit that this was more fun than I had thought it would be. The way my parents treated me as Darla was very different from how they treated me as a child. Oh well, I'll see how things go. On Saturday morning, I got up, took a shower, and put on more of my mom's clothes, almost without thinking. She was ready with things for me. I had trouble getting the bra on, but I finally figured out that I could hook it in the front, twist it around to the back, and put my arms through the straps. No problem. Today she gave me a blue denim jumper with buttons on the front. It was worn over a white shirt and with dark-colored tights, and, again, 2-inch heels. After last night, it was easy to get into these. The sweater was long, but it wasn't as full as last night's dress, so it was harder to walk because the heavier fabric kept wrapping around my legs. I had to take smaller steps, but that was no big deal. Even so, it was fun to wear. I decided that skirts are tricky, but fun to wear. Someone could learn to like it. I put on my own lipstick and a little bit of blush to surprise my mom. As a finishing touch, I wore a pair of blue clip-on earrings and a beaded necklace that went with the jumper. I don't know why I wanted to do that, but I did. Mom was so happy to see them that she ran over and gave me a big hug. During the day, I helped my mom do housework, which is something I would never do on my own. Working with her as Darla was fun, or maybe it was just the way she was treating me differently. This new female identity was changing me, and I was always aware of how I looked and felt. It was great. As we worked, she kept showing me how girls do things differently than boys do. How they act, how they should sit, stand, walk, and how they should use their eyes when talking. All of it was interesting and hard. I even did what she told me to do because, after all, what could it hurt? I sometimes wondered why I cared so much about something that was only going to last a short time. But I couldn't help but get caught up in my parents' excitement about having a daughter. How bad was that? When the doorbell rang one afternoon, I went to the door without thinking. I didn't realize I was Darla until it was too late, so I had to act out what I had learned. It was the mailman with a package that needed to be signed by an adult. Even though he didn't know me, he called me young lady and let me sign for it. That didn't bother me at all. I looked and acted like the young woman he saw, so why not? I wrote Darla and said I was a relative who was visiting from out of town. Maybe being seen this way should have made me feel bad, but it didn't. I felt more like myself as a girl now, and it had only been 2 days. Mom said we should go out for dinner on Saturday night because she didn't want to cook. Dad agreed right away, and I didn't say anything. I was already sure enough of myself to try it. Why not? The mailman, who sees Daryl every day, didn't know who I was. Mom was right. No one would know. And I didn't want to go back to being a boy yet. I can't believe that's how I felt. Mom made me change into a dress that was better for going out to eat. A long-sleeved, flowery dress with a square neckline and a full skirt. She gave me jewelry that went with my outfit. Mother and daughter, we both changed at the same time. She helped me get dressed and made my hair look better. I touched up my makeup while Mom did hers. We were both in the bathroom, using the same mirror. I'd never felt so close to her, or like we had so much in common. It went great. We ate at a restaurant where nobody paid us any extra attention, even though I thought they would. Even though I was a boy in a dress, I was taken for the young woman I seemed to be. The waitress was very nice to me, and a young man held the door for me as I came in. I tried to do what Mom had shown me, and she was proud of me. Dad told me again what a pretty young woman I had become in such a short amount of time. I knew I should have been embarrassed or insulted by that, like any son would be, but instead I thanked him. I felt good about it, to be honest. They accepted me as a girl, and I think that was something I wanted to hear. I was also starting to accept that I was a girl, which was something I never thought I'd say. I don't think this is how things were supposed to go. Was Mom right about what my paper was about? Did I send a message? I might secretly want to be a girl. I've never worn her clothes, but I've often wondered how they feel. Heck, don't all boys feel this way? Well, now I know how they feel and how I look in them, and I like what she's done to me. So how do I continue? I had to go to the bathroom, so Mom took me to the women's room. She reminded me in a quiet way that girls do their business while sitting down. Again, I didn't feel as embarrassed as I thought I would or should when I went to the ladies' room. On Sunday morning, we all went to church, and I kept being Darla. As Mom had said, I was introduced as her niece from Provincetown. Everyone took me for who I was. Mom made sure that I was dressed very carefully for my first big event. I stayed like this the whole day. I put on the nightgown and got ready for bed on Sunday night. Mom said, "Okay, Darla, that's it for your test. So, why did you really write about wearing women's clothes? Where did you get that idea?" Honestly, Mom, I don't know. Maybe deep down inside I did want to try it, but now that I have, I've learned that it's fun to be a girl and I like it. Maybe I've always been after that. Well, it doesn't have to end if you don't want it to, honey. Even for a short time, I liked having a daughter. I don't mind if you keep doing what we've been doing on weekends and holidays. That's great, Mom, but what about Dad? How will he answer? Oh, I think he'll come with you. What do you mean? See, Darla, your father is also a crossdresser. When we first got married, he would sometimes go out dressed as a woman. I didn't mind because it was something new and fun. He was a very pretty man. As his career went on, it got harder for him to do that, so he only dressed at home from then on. As you grew up, he had to stop because he was afraid you would catch him. Now you can both wear different clothes and be happy. He's happy about it. I'll help you both. Like your dad, you want to be a girl, so I'm not too surprised. Wow, Mom. I see now why Dad wasn't mad at me. I never would have thought that. From now on, we're going to have fun together. Yes, we'll have to get you your own girl's clothes so you don't have to wear mine. We'll get you things that are better suited to your age. And next summer, just the three of us women will go on a trip, right? Great, Mom. Oh, and we'll fix your hair tomorrow so it doesn't look so girly. I'll give you an androgynous look, so when you change back into a dress after school, your hair will look good. Thanks, Mom. I like that. You're great. Good night, Darla. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Patreon and follow us on Twitter. Have a wonderful day.